Super Bowl.
Welcome to Patriots Touchback Podcast.
Good evening and welcome to this off-season edition of the Patriots Touchback Podcast. I'm Nick. We've got no Carl tonight, so I'm on hosting duties tonight. With me, I've got DJ and JD, and underneath me here, I have a new member of the team. Welcome, Joe. How are we, guys?
Great. Really happy to be here.
So we'll jump straight in, Joe. You tell us about your love for the Patriots and where that all started, and give everybody insight into who you are.
Yeah, so Joe, nice to meet everyone. Glad to be here. So Patriots, my fandom probably goes back to, I think it was 96. My aunt bought me back a jersey from Boston, a throwback Willie McGinnis. I think it's a champion jersey. Hooked ever since, really. Loved it. Grew up watching the Patriots. Would stay up with my dad, recorded the games as and when we could when they were on. I think used to get the Super Bowl every year. It was on Channel 4 back in the day. Record it, watch it, and then obviously from there, trips to London to see the Patriots, over to Foxborough, New York, and just end up falling in love with them.
Fair enough. Favorite game, favorite player. Come on.
Favorite player, Julian Edelman. Edelman all day long. I love Edelman. Literally, I've got a serious man crush on Julian Edelman and Danny Amendola. Really weird. That's my two absolute favorites. Obviously, aside from Brady. Favorite game. Oh man,
so many.
There's so many from the Dynasty. I'd say my favorite game was when I was at, which was the Baltimore game in the playoffs. Edelman's pass to Amendola, so that was my first trip there as well, and just a complete back and forth game, and then just literally after that touchdown, I've never heard a noise like it. It was just unbelievable. We were sat quite high up as well, right on the halfway line. So just that in terms of games I've been to, that, and then there's 6 Super Bowls to pick from, isn't there? We're lucky, so. I say, we have. If I had to pick a Super Bowl, it's hard to look past the Atlanta game, isn't it? It's just.
Oh yeah.
The Atlanta game's something special. But if rumors are led to believe, it's that game against Baltimore that pissed Baltimore off so bad that they told the Indianapolis Colts about what they thought about the footballs, which then moved on to the Colts, and then when they intercept. So, maybe just screwing the Ravens over pissed somebody off to
100%.
Such a point. But there we go.
Yeah.
We're really glad that you're part of the team. There's not much going on at the moment, but when we get into it, it'll be good fun. Gents, we've got minicamp on at the moment. OTAs have been over the last few weeks. What have people been keeping an eye on? JD?
Yeah, I think for me, kind of listening to Patriots and Filth and things like that, and reading all the kind of blog observations and stuff from the minicamp stuff. I think it's I'm most interested in kind of seeing how many reps Drake May is getting, but also seeing how the reps are kind of distributed amongst the receiving core we have at the minute.
Yeah, I noticed that Mayo said that the QBs had to earn their reps, and so initially it was Jacoby Brissett and Bailey Zappi that were getting all the reps, and then as May and Milton's reps went up, Zappi's came down, and I think Drake May is now getting the second reps, and Zappi's getting the. Milton hasn't been on the field of late. He's missed the last couple. He's not been on the field for the last 2 OTAs, but I think he's at minicamp. So we'll just have to see where that goes. But I think it's just a case of everyone stays fit, everyone turns up, everyone gets back into the groove, and a lot of it is just, from what I've read, a lot of it is the basics at the moment. It's all about putting the essentials into play first before you start messing around with complicated plays. So it looks like the defense are on top at the moment. DJ,
Absolutely.
what?
That's probably to be expected.
Yeah.
I think. Sorry.
Go on, JD. Carry on. Yeah.
The implementation of a brand new offense, and I think as well, it might make sense that Jacoby Brissett's getting a lot of reps early on because he's played under Alex Van Pelt in Cleveland. So I think it probably makes sense for him, even if he is, and we're expecting him to be the starter anyway, so that makes sense. But the idea that he might get some more reps to kind of demonstrate to Drake May and Zappi and Milton that actually this is what we're looking for on this play. And AVP might trust him a little bit more to kind of demonstrate exactly the kind of concepts he's looking for.
Yeah. DJ.
Yeah, I think today was the final minicamp practice before now they have that long stretch of summer break and then before they're going into practice camp. But from what I can see and from my take of it, I think it's more they don't want to push May into something too quick, into like getting main reps, getting the main drives. I think they were quite happy with leaving Brissett taking quite a lot of the first string reps. But like JD was saying there, I was more interested in how the wide receiver core are divided, like who's taking reps with which quarterback. I think there was an interesting one today where I think May he finished off quite strong, to be honest. I think he did, I think it was a 5v5 matchup, but he did get Polk in the end zone in the back right hand corner for a TD. So that looked that actually finished the practice there and then. So yeah, I think it's just like you say, it's just more them getting back into the groove of things, getting into a routine, getting to know each other, and then obviously then taking it on from there.
Yeah, I think Polk and Thornton have been the two to impress in general, but all those rookie, all those wide receivers that are on the bubble seem to be getting reps and performing like they want a job. So we'll just have to.
I think Butte was quite impressive today for some reason. I think I read something around the lines about Butte being connecting with May.
He was impressive early on in OTAs as well. Those first few OTAs, he was doing well as well.
I think
he can be utilized. He can be utilized so much as well. A player like him, like his size, his sheer size for a wide receiver, he's massive. He's effectively a tight end playing out there. Big body. He's got a good catch radius as well. Like you can understand, especially with being a rookie, he's why May would be relying on him a lot, especially during OTAs.
What do we think about the new kickoff format and how that's going to play out? How do you guys see that? Do you see some sort of special team? Do you see some special team talent? Do you see a wide receiver / cornerback combination? What are we thinking?
Is this the one where Justin Tucker came out saying something, but I don't remember what he was moaning about. He said
he's going to have to put on some weight, isn't he, or like get bigger because of like the new kickoff rules.
Is this the rule that they've using in this XFL thing?
It is.
Yes, it's a variation of.
Yeah, I think more kickers are going to be in positions where they're going to have chances where they have to tackle. And interestingly, I think you're seeing the Chiefs experimenting with not having Harrison Butker out there on kickoffs. They're having, I can't remember, was it Ogunbowale or somebody, I can't remember who it was, they were taking kickoffs for them because they were more adept at tackling because they expected potentially, especially early on, that there might be more kind of big plays. And so you need somebody back there who can actually tackle.
I can see a lot of kickers as well. If they're lining up, they're just going to drill it down the field, especially if you're not going to have a normal kicker. Like you're going to try and squib it, try and get an awkward bounce, and then gives you time for your players to try and shed their tackle or shed their block to get downfield. And it's a tough one.
problem with that bounce though is it has to stay. It has to stay in that zone.
Yeah.
Gerard Mayo said in his press conference today that in the way he's looking at it is it could well be just drill it right through the back end, right through the end zone, and take it at the 30 and have done with it. Because that's the safest option. So you could see a lot of teams, but the whole point of this new kickoff rules is to stop teams doing that. So, if you're going to give another team an extra 5 yards, if you're confident enough, then so be it. But, there's the fact that 10 of your 11 players, if you're kicking, 10 of your 11 players are going to be in that tackle box. There's going to be some combinations that that no one's seen before. I mean, this is the sort of thing where you think Bill would be absolutely rubbing his hands with glee at this sort of thing. He'd have 100 different plays already drawn up, ready to go, and he'd just be absolutely loving it. So
I think I tend to agree with what Jared Mayo is saying though as well. Like
go on, Joe.
I tend to agree with what Jared Mayo is saying. Like from a kicker's perspective, aside from giving the extra 5 yards, nothing's changed. You're still kicking from your 35. Like nothing's changed. Kickers frequently are putting it out the back of the end zone anyway on kickoffs. Like if you ever look at the figures over the last, I think 5-6 years, like the amount of kickoffs that are returned, like it's dropped dramatically. So I think, will it change much? I don't think so. I think there'll be a few. But whether it's going to be a systematic, huge overhaul like people are thinking, it's going to look different. But I tend to agree with. I think teams will just take the extra 5 yards that are given to the opposing offense just as the safest option. Because the last thing you want to do is do one of these kicks and then you're getting a team return it to you, like even for a TD or even like to your across the halfway line. It's just I can't see it being a huge difference maker like people think it's going to be.
What are we? I noticed that the Patriots have made a roster change this week. Signed Steel Chambers as waiver. From the Lions as a linebacker. But how are we feeling with? I think we've signed all our rookies now. Is that right? Have we signed all our? I believe we've signed all our.
I think Layden Robinson was the last one, and he signed.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, yesterday or day before. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've got a fully signed rookie class now. Again, I think that roster moves just to bolster numbers for camp. Really, it's just to our linebacking core is pretty. Our linebacking core is pretty set. I think you could probably write out already who's going to be the linebackers in the 53. So I think it's literally just a camp number, really, just to. Because you have been a couple movements, little bit of protection, and it just obviously, it just gives the guys a chance to go out and prove it as well.
Ramondre Stevenson's in his last year of his rookie deal. He's rumored to be close to signing an extension. Is that a move we're happy with?
That's a surprising one because, like I say, in the old Belichick era, I don't think Bill would pays for running backs. Not like, I don't know what kind of deal that Stevenson's close to agreeing, but it's not the norm that we would pay a running back.
No, I mean,
I don't know how much the amount is, but
if you look back over, the years, like Garrett Blunt when we had him, it was always 1 year deals, and Bill was happy to chop and change with the running back situation. I'm glad that he's going to get a new deal. I think especially this year as well, the way Stevenson plays, not just running the ball, but his ability to block as well is going to be fundamental for whoever's playing quarterback. And I think he's trusted as well. And sometimes when you've got a guy in there who you can trust, you're better off paying that guy than going to the street and finding someone who might come in but might not fit with the offense, or you might have other issues. And he's a steady player as well, Ramondre Stevenson. You know what you're getting from him.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a disappointment last year, but I don't know if that is because he wasn't fully fit or the O-line just wasn't there for protection, but he's definitely going to have to step up this year, I think.
I mean, he missed 5 games. He missed 5 games last year. He missed 5 games through injury last year. So but I think he was certainly our best performer. It doesn't say much based on last year, but I think he was our best performing running back last year.
No, I don't know. I think I like Zeke.
How many yards did he have last year?
I think Zeke outperformed him last year. Elliot.
No, surely not.
I think he did.
Not.
I'm sure I read somewhere that Ramondre still had like 900 odd yards. Like he was close to 1,000 yard season rushing, or at least all-purpose yards anyway.
I'm looking.
But I mean, this year we've got quite a deep running back core. I mean, I know we haven't got Zeke anymore, but I think we picked up that Gibson lad, which if he can work out his fumbling issues, then he's quite solid.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, then we have Stevenson. I think we kept Harrison. There's another running back that we've got as well. Can't remember.
Zeke ran for 642.
Yeah.
And Stevenson ran for 619. So there was like 20 yards in it.
Yeah.
That's just rushing. I haven't gone into anything else, but yeah. So if you think that Zeke, I don't know how many games Zeke played last year, but that's not far off being very equal. And if Stevenson missed 5 games, but
Zeke 17, Stevenson 12.
Yeah, so there you go. He was 20 yards short of Zeke and played 5 games less. So
I think he breaks 1,000, like you say, 1,000 yards with if he stays fit.
Yeah. We bought in Osborne though, didn't we, as well? So KJ will take some of the pressure off. And he's built
a receiver.
Who's the other one? Not KJ
Gibson.
Antonio Gibson. Yeah, he's built a lot big. He's built a lot bigger than Stevenson. So he'll maybe those sort of in the box big hits for gain of a few yards. They'll be the ones that Gibson will advance us, and then Stevenson in the backfield when he's got a little bit more space to move. So, and what else? We have the Hall of Fame. Judon came back today. Yeah, he's back. He's taking part. It's good to see him back from injury. His red sleeves are out already. So.
He's a contract year as well, isn't he? So.
He had
a contract here, so that's one we've got to tie up. Up.
They adjusted his contract last year as well, didn't they, to give him a bit more money last year? So he gets less money this year to get more money last year.
Yeah, I mean everything you hear from Judon, what he says, it seems he wants to stay in New England, and he seems like he's happy to get a deal done. So let's just fingers crossed we get it done.
I think his age now is not on his side anymore. This is the problem now. We're at a point where it's like you're at some point he's going to start to regress. If like I say, if he has another injury like he had last year, I think he might
That's
even
it.
think about retiring, or we're going to have to start thinking about getting rid, because it's not a nice injury that he's had to recover from. I think it was torn triceps or something like that?
Or was this his triceps? Was
that? Which I think Ninkovic came back for a year and it still wasn't fully recovered from it, and then he had to retire.
6.5 million is his base salary for this coming year. So it's for who he is and what he does and what he brings to the team. That's peanuts.
Yeah.
So, Gonzalez is back as well from injury. So he's been playing. He's been performing well in OTAs as well. The defense in general has been up on the offense, but that's to be expected.
That's the defensive unit. The whole defensive unit really has been together now. Apart from obviously Gonzo, at least 2 or 3 seasons now. So there's not going to be much change. Obviously, it's going to be Mayo's defense regardless. I know new DC's in there, but it's going to have a heavy influence of Gerard in there. So, and I think you've tied up the players you want as well. Like Christian, the contract for Christian Barmore was massive this off season. So I think that's
I said this. I said this to Carl. I said this to Carl a few weeks ago, probably at a similar time that I was talking with Luke at the same time. In that, the fact is that even though you've got a new DC coming in, and the DC's got a few coaches here and there, and Steve Belichick's moved on and what have you, the players themselves, they've been together for so long. They know what they're doing. They know how to defend. No DC is going to come in, rip everything up, and start again, because that's not how you run the defense. So most of the guys on defense know what to do, and they know how to play the game. So it's just the nuances of what the new DC wants. But how many times did our D keepers in games last year? That 4-game run when we lost by one point less than a score or whatever, and the D kept us in that game so many times that it's
my biggest worry heading in.
All right.
My biggest worry heading into the season isn't even the offense; it's special teams, because for a team like however long underbuilt, that we just revert special teams. I always had a top 10 special teams. Last year, was not pretty to watch. The amount of mock-ups we made on routine special teams plays we just wouldn't have done in the past. And I think losing obviously Slater as well is going to, although I know he's a lot older, but losing someone like Slater, just his experience alone, is going to be massive. I know he's still there in the background, but having him on that squad, having that dedicated special teamer on that squad who literally played every single role in special teams, that's going to be a hard role to fill.
I think Schooler's going to be half decent. I think.
I think Schooler's the one who's going to step up. Really,
he'll take over. Yeah,
he's going to be the captain of that unit.
The sixth best team based on given yards given up per game. New England had the 6th best defense last year, and yet we were that bad.
Yeah.
So the defense doesn't worry me. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You can have the 6th best defense, but if you have the 32nd worst offense, it's so we get to see Mac Jones again in October.
You just know that something's going to happen, and Mac Jones is going to start that game. Like Trevor Lawrence is going to forget his passport or something. You just know. You just know it. You just it's just written in the stars, isn't it? It's just as soon as they announced that fixture in London, just the first thing I
Are
said.
you going,
One of my
Joe?
friends.
Are you going?
I am going. Yeah. So I'm going with my friend. Another obviously massive Pats fan as well. So yeah, we're both going. We're sat. Paid a bit extra for tickets, a bit more than I normally would, but it's Patriots, baby. It's got to be done.
I'm sat.
surprised
I'm
there's still
going. I'm
tickets.
sat. Yeah, I'm sat behind the Patriots. I'm on the Patriots sideline. I'm towards the back of the first tier, just at that point where the price changes from expensive to ludicrously expensive.
Yeah.
So
I think ours were like 200 a ticket. So we went through that unique seats or something like that. I was like, I just wanted to get them, make sure we got good seats. So I'm sure it's Patriots sideline.
Yeah.
I'm not the best.
I
at
think
looking at things like that.
Carl's on the same side as me, but he's at the opposite end of the pitch. So he's down the other end of the Patriots sideline. So DJ's not coming. So.
I don't know yet.
At the moment,
Still debating.
at the moment,
Which would change my mind a week before.
we'll all chip your ticket, DJ. You just got to get the flight.
Yeah. Mental. We'll see. See how it pans out.
No, I mean, I said this the other week. You know, you wait 2013 was the last time the Patriots were here against the St. Louis Rams. You wait for ages and ages and ages and ages, and they're not.
You get them too.
You know, if someone had said to me last year, "Don't go to Germany because they'll be in the UK in a year," I'd have gone, nah, they're not coming to the. You know, I'm going to Germany because I want to go. Lo and behold, you go to Germany, and the next year they're in the UK again. So
I'm wondering next year as well, because obviously next year's the extra home game. Will they go back to Germany again? Like, it's a home market, so
no, because it won't be their turn. It won't be their turn because there's 4 teams with a home market. So in Germany,
right. In
So-
Germany, right? Okay.
So it was Chiefs and
Miami.
Patriots.
Oh,
No, Chiefs had the home game last year, wasn't it?
yeah. So
Or was
yeah,
it the
yeah,
Dolphins?
Chiefs.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Chiefs and Patriots had their home game last year. The Panthers have got their home game this.
I think there's only one game in
this
Germany
season.
this year, isn't there?
Yeah. I think it's the Panthers are the home team, so they've
Panthers,
got
Giants.
one.
Yeah.
And then next year
then
it'll
next year we've got
be
Madrid as well.
Yeah.
Patriots aren't one of the Spain.
No, I think
market,
I've heard
so-
rumours it's Bears Miami. That's what I've been told or been reading.
So I think it will be probably 27 before the Patriots are back in Germany. So we'll see. And again, they could be back in London, but they'd have to be back in London as an away team. They won't be in London as a home team. So we'll see. We'll follow them everywhere, I guess, as the song goes at City. Follow you everywhere. Right, moving on. I believe someone's having their Hall of Fame ceremony tonight. For those that want to stay up, it starts at 11:30 tonight.
Yeah, 11:30.
Runs through till most of the night. So
Got a busy night tonight for Boston. Busy night for Boston sports fans tonight. Game 3 of the NBA
Celtics as well.
Championship as well. Celtics 2-0 up. Let's go to Dallas and get number 3 and get these one.
They were always going to win. They were always going to win Game 2 because Dak Prescott was sat there watching.
Tells you everything. Yeah.
It tells you everything, doesn't it? You know.
I think Pep Guardiola was at Game 1, wasn't he?
Pep was at Game 1. Yeah.
Bill was at. I seen Bill Belichick was at Game 2 as well. Actually, I got really good reception. So.
I think Judon was at Game 2. There was quite a few. I think there was quite a lot of Patriots players.
Yeah.
Scattered.
May was there.
Yeah. Yeah, because there was that big thing about Guardiola on the court.
I've seen that.
before the
Got
game,
front seat as well.
Chatting, and someone said, "Who's that guy?" And who's that guy? And what does he know about basketball? Well, he knows a lot about everything. I believe me.
Yeah.
He could probably teach our offense a couple of tricks as well.
Yeah.
So, are we happy that Brady's getting inducted straight away? He doesn't have to do his wait time, because I know Vince Wilfork obviously got inducted last year after his wait time, and everything. The rules are being changed and everything's being skipped for Tom, which I don't have an issue with, to be honest. The guy's had a career that
I think he deserves it.
Yeah, it's Tom Brady, and I wouldn't be surprised tonight to see him retire the 12 jersey as well. Like, I really wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's wearing it at the moment, is there?
No.
I don't think so. No, I don't think it's signed to anybody.
No one's going to want to wear 12, are they? Like, after Brady.
They need to retire the whole number 12 NFL. That's it.
Yeah.
No one wears number 12.
Yeah. There's not enough numbers to go around. That's half the issue.
Well, there is now, because they've changed it, haven't they? So, like, a lot of position groups can choose different numbers. They're not just set how it was for years with receivers have to be between what was it before 1 to blah blah blah. Anyone could be anything number now.
They can choose.
Yeah, but yeah, I think definitely going to retire his number.
I can't remember the last QB to come in and wear A12 at any team. Because a lot of QBs are coming and wearing different numbers now anyway. So I can't actually remember the last guy to come in and wear.
Maybe Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he wore 12. So, did you guys watch the roast of Tom Brady?
I did.
Yeah.
Did you think that was good?
Brutal. Yeah, I mean, fair play to him. Like, you've got to have a lot of balls to stand up there and take just the pure abuse he did. And he took 99% of it in really good spirits, apart from the joke about Robert Kraft.
He told him to not continue.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can completely understand that. But yeah, and I love the uproar, the Deflategate joke that he done at the end caused as well. You just had the likes of Adam Schefter coming out. Brady's admitted to it. No.
All he said was, if you're going to spend 20 million trying to invest,
just paid me, and I would have just said about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
nobody's yet to find these locker room guys anyway. They've dropped off the face of the earth. They're hidden in a bunker somewhere.
They got 20 million.
But
yeah, they got the 20 million.
No, apparently the production company that did this roast was Tom Brady's production company, and so the idea is to Kevin Hart's involved in the production company, but it's Tom Brady's production. And the idea is that they want to get, the likes of Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan. They want to get the big superstars to do it. And Tom said that the only way they're going to do it is if someone sticks their head above the parapet first. So that's why Tom was willing to have it done first. But I like the joke when Nicky said about the money, the
Gronk.
And
this
Gronk's
not real money.
We know that's not
real money.
The thing is, you can
Gronk's literally lying on the floor laughing.
Well.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I had to watch it, but I think I felt that it was. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I felt it did feel a bit scripted in some
of it did,
parts, or some things they must have known what they're going to say, because then the next person that came on carried on what they were joking about. So
Yeah.
I think they must have knew. And then obviously, I think there was a bit of a hoo-ha with Brady's kids after as well, because I think they must have. I think he said he wouldn't do it again if he'd known that.
Yeah,
what kind of
he's
because
impact
they didn't like
with
they
the
didn't
kids
like
about the
their
mum
mum
and
took their mum
Yeah.
took some abuse. So, but
but
you know.
yeah, it was decent. Good 3 hours.
I thought the Belichick and Kraft bit was a little bit sort of like, oh,
That was awkward.
not
Yeah,
it wasn't cringy, but it was just
it's
like,
awkward.
Really, are we going to push
Yeah,
this line?
You can tell that you could just tell
You
that
can tell something going on.
none of them felt comfortable with that
No,
at all.
but I love the bit where Tom got to come back at the end, and he just stood there and he said the Bills call themselves the Bills Mafia, and to be a mafia you got to have a ring to kiss, and it's like that'll do nicely.
Yeah.
And Peyton was good. What did he say? Peyton Manning said about when his kids want to go to the toilet and they say, "Oh, we're going to take a Brady." Go to take a Brady, and then Tom said, "Well, I know that sometimes you live in Denver and sometimes you live in Kentucky, but wherever you live in my shadow." I thought, well done.
Yeah.
That's a good comeback. That one, well done, Tom. So
I think Belichick's one as well about Gronk, wasn't it? It's like my motto has always been do your job, but Gronk, I've seen you on TV.
Yeah,
please
stop doing your job.
Stop doing your job. Done me. I'm done.
No, I think tonight will be good. Brady deserves everything he gets. The guys.
100 players are
and
going to turn out.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's
from
ex-players.
199 to the best career in the NFL, and maybe Mahomes will catch him, maybe he won't, but Brady set the trend, and smash record after record, and for me, aside from being a Patriots player, he will probably always be the best QB to have ever played the game. As the game changes, the game changes, and so it evolves. So he won't be the best forever, because that's how the game evolves. So you can see it now that the likes of probably the last pure pocket passer man like Brady is probably Kirk Cousins. He's the last man, and he doesn't look comfortable in
even
most
plays like
games
Andrew Luck, like you're saying, he's obviously not in the league anymore because of injuries, and I think when Andrew Luck came out, he was literally that not Brady 2.0, but was like the highly touted. It was going to be the next Peyton Manning, like coming out the way it was at the time, and it just I think like you said, his game's changed so much. You need to have an athletic quarterback now, one who can get out of the pocket, one who can take the ball downfield and run, put their head down and get the extra yards if need be. And I mean, will Mahomes ever catch Brady on 7? It's hard to tell.
I think he will.
Considering
his age, and he's already on 3.
I think that's the thing. It's his age, but then you've got to remember how old was Brady when he had his first 3, and then he had the gap. All right, he played in 2 between.
Mahomes, it's going to be who's around him. It's not. He's not a different. Well, he is. Don't get me wrong. He's a really good quarterback, but I think he depends on a lot of who he's got around. Well, Brady just made plays where he made them, and he didn't care who it was. It could be fucking Campbell in the end zone. He'll make it. I mean,
Patrick, Brady had that 10.
Kelsey and
Brady had that 10-year stint in the middle where it was champion. It wasn't quite Super Bowl. It was AFC Championship game, and Manning won a few, and I kind of look and think, well, I mean, I kind of think that maybe 8 was that helmet catch. That's the one that you probably think you'd like that one back.
Damn you, Wes Welker.
I don't really think he can complain at setting the trend at 7. So if Mahomes catches him, then so be it. But the rules, rules are made to be broken, and stats are there. Stats are there to be broken as well. And Brady set the bar high enough that anybody who comes along and breaks it deserves the credit as well. So
I think stats-wise, Mahomes would definitely be up there. Like you say, where the game's changed so much. Like you go back to the start of Brady's career, the first, even first 10 years, or first 5-10 years. Like he took some punishment, like absolute punishment, like hits. That's a flag in today's game. As soon as you go near the quarterback, so. And Brady missed a year. I think a lot of people forget Brady missed that year with the ACL injury, and I think a lot of it will be dependent. I think a lot of Patrick Mahomes' game is dependent on him staying. Don't get me wrong. I think he's definitely going to be up there in the conversation. I think he already is, but he's got to stay healthy. Like you've seen it when Mahomes is injured. I don't want to say struggles, but I agree with what DJ says. He relies a lot more on the guys around him, like to Travis Kelce, who's 34 now, so he's not going to be there much longer, really.
Yeah. So
I've got a question. Has Brady ever retired as a Patriot? He hasn't, has he?
No. He retired. No, because there's this thing about whether he was
he's still
truly
retired.
Yeah, but there was that incident whether he was truly ever retiring as a Buck the first time when he changed his mind and said, "Oh, I'm coming back. Obviously, there's this thing about the Dolphins were trying to get Peyton and Brady together in Miami, and that's what they lost that draft pick for, trying to manipulate the situation. Now, I think what he was doing then is, as I read it, I think Mike Florio reported it best. What the idea was is that Peyton left the Saints, Brady retired from the Bucks, and then unretired to go to the Dolphins with the Saints, but it just didn't materialize, and so he didn't want to retire, so he just unretired and played for the Bucks one more year, and he nearly ran it all the way back again. So
yeah. I don't think he's like. I know they went. Also, when a player retires, they need to go on the retired or inactive list or whatever it is. I don't think he's on it. So I wonder if tonight would be part of it. This, like they did the 1 day contract.
Players can send a letter of retirement to the NFL headquarters in New York, which is what Tom Brady did. He wrote to 345 Park Avenue, and he said that as a player, he was officially retiring. He didn't want to be considered, and that letter denotes his official retirement and starts the 5-year countdown on the Hall of Fame, ability. So, but because do you not remember there was that big hoo-ha about when he retired that first time, and he said, "Oh, I'm retiring," and all the Patriot fans were like, "How can he not mention?" Because he just came out and thanked the Bucks, didn't he? And all the Patriots fans jumped on saying, "I can't believe he hasn't thanked the Patriots," and that's because he wasn't really retiring. He was just leaving the Bucks, and he was just saying he was retiring to manipulate the move to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
But sure enough, as it didn't come off a couple of days later, he then had to thank the Patriots for what they did and then do a U-turn 3 weeks later anyway. So, yeah, I mean,
I think something has a lot to do with him co-owning or having some kind of percentage of ownership in the Raiders as well. So if he unretires, I think he has to forfeit that. I don't know the clause, but I have a funny feeling he'll have to either give it to someone else as a power of attorney until he retires again.
I'm sure that he can't have anything to do with the Raiders anyway, because with him going to Fox, I'm sure there's something like the broadcast.
Yeah.
If you're in
this
broadcast,
is the issue.
You can't have anything to do with like the NFL like teams.
This is the issue. He's trying to buy a percentage of the Raiders. Now, the problem you have is because he works for Fox and has access to certain areas of teams, and film and practice fields and whatever else. He could, as an owner of the Raiders, he could be reporting information back to the Raiders. Had Josh McDaniels still been there as the head coach, you tell me he's not going to go and report to his best mate what's going on. So I think Goodell said at the last sort of owners meeting that while Tom has a deal to at Fox with commentating, it makes his ability to own a franchise more difficult. I think they were the words that Roger Goodell used. But I think there's a genuine heads-up race between Brady and Peyton Manning as to who's going to own a franchise first.
Yeah.
So, I think
Peyton's
Manning's
involved with the Broncos, isn't he?
Yeah, but only as his associate. Because I
think he's just
I thought he was involved with the
some advisor.
Yeah.
No, it's the Walmart. It's the Walmart team that.
Of course it is. Yeah.
It's Lewis Hamilton and Michelle Obama own some part of the group, and Lewis Hamilton owns a little bit of the Denver Broncos as well. So, but yeah, well, we shall see. Does anybody else have any other business before we call it?
Quiet times. Just looking forward to tonight.
Indeed. Right. Well, what I would say is to those that have been watching, those that listen on Spotify, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Subscribe, like, follow, all the business wherever you watch or listen to, then thank you very much. We will be back at some point when there's something to talk about. I think we might do another quiz special in a couple of weeks. I might, if I can get me backside in gear, I might put a quiz together or something. But yeah, so onwards, upwards, new season, it's getting closer. And we'll see where we go. So thank you very much for joining me, boys. And
cheers,
have a good few weeks, and we'll get together again soon.
Pleasure.
Cool.
All right.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, guys.
See you later.
Go Patriots.
Night, lads. Night.